There it is, pal. Well, those are your honorable mentions. Shall we get started now?
I think we shall. Now, of course, as we said, I had the honorable mentions, and how we've structured this, I have the first take of this. So Kevin will have takes. Don't worry, pal. It's not just Jimmy's bold calls. All right, Kevin will have some takes. I think what better way to start this out with a really light, easy, digestible one. The top five wrestlers of 2024. Who's going to be the very best? One, two, three, four, five. What better way to start off with bold calls? Now, I've done this in order. I look forward to seeing at the end of 2024 how this ages, whether some of these wrestlers just fall off altogether in 2024, whether this is the exact order, how we go. So, this being said, Kevin, my big take, my bold take for the top five of 2024, the Elite Heat 25 top five this coming year. At five, I think Cody Rhodes. I think he'll still have a top five year. I don't think it'll be the level of 2023. I just don't feel like. But I think he'll objectively have a top five year. So he's number five. Four, I've got Gunther. I think he's going to have another great year. He'll have an objectively top five year. Great matches. Who knows what happens in the IC title? Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania, world title. He might win the title at Bash at Berlin. The world title, we'll see. I think he'll be number four. Three, MJF. I think this will be a better year in 2024 than he had in 2023. Hopefully, there'll be no Jay White quarters storyline. Hopefully, it'll be him, Adam Cole, something Devils, and Swerve Strickland matches. Just a great year across the board. Number two, CM Punk. Pepsi Phil, pal. I think Punk, with the opponents he has to work with, the Rollins feud is going to be phenomenal. Rollins is very stiff to miss out here. Rollins probably will be top five, but nonetheless. CM Punk, the Rollins feud will be phenomenal. He'll probably feud with Roman, maybe, or he'll feud with guys like, maybe Cody, maybe LA Knight, maybe Kevin Owens. Punk might turn heel. We'll see. We'll see. So it's going to be a blistering year for Pepsi Phil, pal. And number one, I think this is going to be the guy in 2024. This one could age poorly or could age really well. I have faith in the talent. Swerve Strickland. That's sort of the oh wow part of this. Wow. I think Strickland will win the AEW World Championship. I think he's going to have an absolute banner year where you're going to go, oh my God, he really is that guy. He's the guy in AEW. Like, MJF's great. Bryan Danielson's great. Christian Cage is great, pal. Tony Storm, but Orange Cassidy. But my God, Swerve Strickland is the guy in this company. He's having amazing matches they've run. He's having great storylines. He's cutting great promos. I think Swerve's going to be the guy in 2024. So that's my take there. What are your thoughts, pal?
A very blistering top five, pal. Swerve Strickland, I mean, yeah, has the trajectory to become the wrestler of the year in 2024. He just ended 2023 on an absolute high, on a hot streak. I was in New Year's Eve. He's gonna face Keith Lee, pal. So that's gonna be a big match. Swerve versus what's his gimmick? What's Keith Lee's gimmick in
well, wasn't he like the wizard or something? It was bad, and then he was like a grandfather with a beard, and then he had like a wizard's cape. There was some. I always see pictures of Keith Lee, and I go, I refuse to watch whatever segment he's doing because it's just not good. But like, what is this? What happened to Keith Lee? I think that's another little one. Keith Lee goes back to WWE and signs a Triple H. I think that's another one. But anyway,
yeah, there you have it. All right, pal. So now I'm gonna give you my first take. We're like 10 minutes in. I finally get to talk, pal. Here we go. I can't wait. All right, so my first take, I've started off with a bang. I think this is going to happen. I think this is like, if I had to bet on this, I would bet on this happening in 2024. NXT is going to become a touring brand again, and it's going to compete with AEW Dynamite on Wednesday again. I just foresee that happening. The NXT is hot, red hot, if you will. The interest and just the performances and the quality of product at NXT is at a high that we haven't seen it at since probably like 2017. I would say was the last great NXT year. I know some people really like 2018 and 19. All that was Gargano versus Adam Cole like 20 times and Gargano and Ciampa. But now like NXT has legitimate stars like Melo Hayes on it, Braun Baker, Cora Jade, like people that can actually like headline a third brand and have a core like built around them. The main event scene is crowded right now and on Raw and SmackDown. They don't really need those guys. They could just elevate NXT. And interestingly enough, we've seen, SmackDown sign with USA, and Raw is rumored to be going to like Amazon or Disney. But there's not really a lot of noise on where NXT is going. Is NXT going to stay on USA Network? Is it going to go to streaming? Not a lot of noise about that. So I think there's something in the works there. I think WWE, they're like a shark that smells blood. They know AEW is reeling. They know AEW is struggling to draw the same viewers that they once drew. And they could come in and really take some ground back in that war, in that hypothetical war, per se. I think it's likely. I could see it. I don't know why. I just got that feeling.
No, I could too. I could too. And you didn't even mention when you're listing that talent, Tiffany Stratton. I mean, wrestler Trick Williams. Like, there's so much talent who are legitimate stars in that group, that crop of NXT talent. Which, I mean, I'd watch it if they were touring and they were doing separate arenas and they were, because you got Mello Hayes going to be the face of it. He's just the face. I don't know if Dragunov would be your champion if you're trying to be a touring brand. That's my only thing.
Right.
I think you have to have someone a bit more marketable than Ilya Dragunov. He's just like a fine champion. But I think change that. But yeah, I see that happening. I can picture it. If that doesn't happen, I mean, it's hardly a bad take either. I must say it's a very fair, reasonable take. That's not super like OMG, WTF, Kevin, horrible take. That's fine. That's fair. I can see where you're coming from with that. And it would make sense. WWE, after how AEW acted in the first year or two of that war, and when they were just throwing out shots left and right, they were saying horrible things. Wrestlers were doing interviews, saying bad things. AEW, how they were acting. If WWE want to go, oh, well, I see you're reeling on the ropes. You're barely getting up for the 10 count, pal. WWE, Shawn Michaels just comes over, just whacks him. Yep, touring brand now. Look at us go. 800,000 viewers a week live.
I love that.
All right, Kevin,